Before having the next example, we would like to discuss some techniques that we can use with both text files and binary files, even though the next example will involve a text file. We begin by describing the standard class file, which we have used previously when reading from a text file, followed by describing a method on how to convert a number if we read it from a text file as a string into a binary number, where this binary number can be saved in a primitive data type variable and use it normally in our programs. So let us begin describing the class file. When we write Java programs that involves files, the name of the file is just simply a text. So it has a string properties. So it cannot be used if we want to have some information about the file. For example, the size or the location of the file. Therefore, the file is represented as an object that is created from a class called file. And this object will be used for reading or writing from the file. As you have seen in the previous example, when reading from a text file, the constructor for the class file takes a string, which is the file name, as an argument and produces an object that represents the file in your programs. Since it is an object, then it has some methods that are very useful to answer some questions such as, does the file exist, or does your program have permission to read the file, or what is the size of the file. To see how to use the object if it is created from the file class, here is an example. So in this line, we are creating the object for the file stuff.txt, and here we are using a special method inside the file class called exist, and this is a Boolean method. It returns true if the file exists, and it returns false if the file does not exist. So if the file does not exist, a message is printed, there is no file named stuff.txt. In the else statement, we are also using a Boolean method that is defined in the file class called canRead. This method is used to tell us whether the file is readable or not. If it returns true, then the file is readable, otherwise the file is not readable. So if the file is not readable and this method returns false, a message is printed, file stuff.txt is not readable. Let us have a look into some of the methods that are defined inside the file class. The first method is a Boolean method called canRead, and it is used to test whether the program can read from the file or not. And you have seen an example on how to use this method. A similar method that is used for testing whether a program can write to the file or not is a Boolean method called canWrite. It returns true if we can write into the file, and it returns false otherwise. The third method is a Boolean method called delete. It is used to delete the file. So what does it do? It tries to delete the file. If the file exists, it will be deleted and it returns true. If the file does not exist, then nothing happens but it returns false. The next method is also a Boolean method. It is called exist, and it is used to test whether an existing file has the name used as an argument to the constructor when the file was created or not. And again, you have seen an example on how to use this method. After creating the file object for a certain file, later you would like to know the name of this file, then you can call the method getName. But getName will give you only the name of the file without the path. I mean, it does not give you the folders where this file belongs to. However, if you want to get the path, then you can call the method getPath, and this will tell you where the file is saved and in which folder. Finally, if you want to know the size of the file, then you can call the method length, and this method will give you the size of the file in number of bytes.